Let's see if we can fire up my 1951 Chevy Hybrid for the first time. I'm excited. Let's go! Hey, how's the jokes? Welcome back to the shop. If you don't know me, my name is Duff, and I run a one-man shop out here in the middle of a forest on a farm in South Africa. I'm busy with this budget rat truck build. It's a 1951 Chevy cab mounted on a Nissan drivetrain. All the running gear is stock standard Nissan, little 4-banger engine. We're really trying to do this as cheaply as possible, and I'm chasing $1,500 or less. We'll see how that works out. I'll be sharing my costs one of these days to see where we're at. I just got back from town. I got all the bits and pieces I need to fire the truck up. I am very excited. I also bought these stainless steel mixing bowls. Very shiny, eh? I wonder if anybody can guess what my plan is with these things. I got a new Welsh plug. In my previous video, when I was trying to fill up the coolant, it was leaking all over the place, and then it was because of this corroded Welsh plug on the very back end of the head. It's got to go in right there. There's not a lot of space here. We're not all going to fit in here. Definitely not you and me and the camera, and I've got a very little room to swing my hammer. But there is a bit of space, luckily. So I'm using a socket that's a little bit smaller than the inside of the Welsh plug, and I'm just busy tapping it in, making sure that it goes in squarely. Now that's looking pretty good. A little bit more. I think that'll do. So I've just got a mirror here to try and show you, but you can see it's in place now. For good measure, I've coated the outside of my Welsh plug with this sealing compound. It's non-hardening, and it's made for this kind of thing. So hopefully now my coolant won't fall out somewhere anymore. It's as full as it can be for now. I got a brand new clutch cylinder to replace the old one that is now essentially deceased. Well, let me fit it quickly so I can get it off the list. You know, this mechanic stuff, it's not really for me. I much prefer to do the fabrication and the welding and all that. This mechanic business, not so much. But what can I do? I want to drive this truck, so I have to do it. And there's no one else who can do it for me. I got some fresh petrol. That's what my friends in America calls gas. So let's get some of it in here. And don't suck, just blow. There you go. No petrol in my mouth. Which just goes to show, blowing is better than sucking. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I've got about 20 liters in there. What is that? About 5 gallons. So yeah, it's not quite halfway, but it's enough to get going. I've got a few guys suggest that I weld this to the cap so that it's permanently attached It's actually a great idea. So I'm going to do that down the line. Nothing falling out the bottom here. That's a good thing. I see I've still got to connect that red wire there. That is for the fuel pump. I still need to connect that. I'm lying here under the truck just to show you my fuel pump. It's one of those facet electrical fuel pumps. It was actually fitted to my Nissan donor truck and working just fine. So I'm reusing it. I've got it mounted on the back of the cab, and I was a little concerned about vibration, so I've got it mounted on rubber. We'll see how that works out. We actually call these little pumps a tuk-tuk pump, because of the noise it makes when it's working. Tuk 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 tuk. So our common word for them is a tuk-tuk pump. So originally this little Nissan had a mechanical fuel pump sitting right here. So someone has obviously removed it and blanked off with a little plate. So now we're running an electric fuel pump. So coolant is good. Let's check oil level on the engine. Ah, that looks great. Oil's a little black, so I'll do an oil change, but I'm not going to bother with that right now. I want to get this fellow started. All these scars from that freaking Welsh plug. Okay, so I've got fresh gas or petrol in my fuel tank. I've checked the oil level, got new coolant, full to the top. Previously I just did see that I get power through to my coil resistor, so I should be getting spark. So I reckon I should give this thing a go and see if it will start. I know these Nissans like to have a choke to get going, and I don't have choke cable connected. But let's give it a shot. Pump is primed. Can hear it. Where's that start button? Voila! Oh no, what the shit is going on here? Shit, man. I got a leak here somewhere. Ach no, man, look right there. Can you see that little stream? There's a freaking hole in the radiator. Ah! So what, did I damage this radiator when I took it out of the donor truck? It's got a tiny little spot right there, and it's aluminum as well. Ah, there goes my budget. I'm gonna have to go and buy a new one. Maybe you can find one in a junkyard. Damn it. Well, on the plus side, she did fire right up. I'm pretty chuffed with that. I suppose that kind of stuff happens when you mess around with old crap. But she's firing up. I didn't want to rev her up too much now after seeing that leak, so I need to sort that out first. I'm gonna have to strip out that radiator and go find another one. Well, I guess I need to take this radiator out if I want to drive this thing. So to do that, I need to remove my two bonnet halves, which is actually quite easy to do. But I also have to take out this support, which is connected to this custom grill section I built up here. And to take that off is a little bit more painful. But you got to do what you got to do. I mean, how does a mouse eat the elephant? One tiny bite at a time. I tell you, if the windshield was in place already, there's no ways I would have been able to undo these bolts by myself. I would have had to go and look for someone to hold the bolt on for me on the inside. Alright, last bolt of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Holding this grill on. Why did I put in so many bloody bolts? So this should come off now. Let's see. There we go. So now I must just undo the radiator pipes. All the coolant's gonna fall out again. Then I can pull the radiator out. So this radiator doesn't have a drain plug. And I'm going to try and pull off this bottom radiator hose here from the top. It's very tight. But I know if I crawl in the bottom, the stuff's gonna pull all over me. There we go. It worked. So at least I'm not wet. Looks like some rust came out, so it's probably not a bad thing. I'm flushing it now without planning to do that. So I've got the top hose pulled off, so I must just undo these mounting bolts. Okay, now it should come right out. Oh, I was lying. I see now that it does have a drain plug here on the other side. Well, now I know. Okay, look, right there is a nick in a tiny little hole. I must have damaged this thing when I took it out of the donor truck, because prior to me stripping it, it was fine. And there is a little spider. It's coming along for a free ride. Go, little guy. Well then, that wasn't much of a first run, was it? But at least you fired on the first swing, so I'm pretty happy about that. So I'll accept the knocks, I suppose. So thanks for spending time with me. I enjoyed it. Well, I enjoyed your presence. I didn't enjoy this disaster. So I'm going to go and find another radiator, and then I'll see you in the next video, when we can hopefully stick it back in and fire it up properly. Until then, have a lucky one.